Hello everyone, welcome to Jack's operating system tutorial. Today we are going to discuss some of the important topics from operating system. These are computer system components. What is an operating system? Here we will be talking about different definitions of the operating system. Then types of operating system. We will see the types of operating system as per the evolution of OS. And then finally we will conclude our discussion with services of the operating system. So let's begin our discussion with computer system components. System components can be divided roughly into four, that is the users, the application programs, the operating systems and the hardware. Here I have shown you the diagram of components of computer system, which consist of users, then application programs, then operating system and the computer hardware. Let's talk about the computer hardware. The central processing unit, that is CPU, then main memory, that is memory, then input output devices. They provides a basic computing resources for the system. Now talking about the application programs such as word processors, web browsers, spreadsheets, assemblers, compiler, they provide or they defines in which ways these resources are to be used to solve the user's computing problems. And then we have the most important part of the computer system, that is operating system, which controls and coordinates the use of hardware among the various application programs for various user usage. Every computer system must have at least one operating system to run other programs. Typical resources. Now when we talk about computer hardware or hardware resources, that includes, as I told, CPU, main memory, input output devices. And when we say operating system does a management task, it means it performs the scheduling of these resources to avoid conflicts and interference between the programs. Now let's talk about what is an operating system. It is a program that acts as an intermediary between a user of a computer and the computer hardware. So these are nothing but different computer hardware, and user want to perform the task by using that hardware. So the operating system acts as an intermediary between user of a computer and computer hardware. That's one definition. Another definition says operating system is a program that manages a computer's resources, especially the allocation of resources among other programs. That means a process needs input device, or process may need an output device, a process may need the disk drive. So allocation of these resources is an important task which is done by the operating system. So that's why we call it as a resource manager, which manages the computer resources. Another definition: an operating system is a system software that acts as an interface between computer hardware components and the user. So user wants to perform the task, as I told, that is done by the hardware. So operating system acts as an interface between the user of a computer and computer hardware. Final definition: an operating system is a system software that provides platform to run other programs. It provides platform means it provides all other necessary things for program to execute, and that is another definition. So these are nothing but different definitions of operating system. Now let's talk about types of operating system. There are various types of operating system. Here I have given the operating system types with as they are evolved. Initially operating system started as a serial processing. There was no operating system. User has to directly interact with the hardware. Now when we have many processes and we are giving only one process for the execution, low device utilization was the problem. So to utilize the hardware, that is processor, multi-programming operating system is designed. Batched multi-programming operating system, where multiple processes are given at the same time. However, in this case, the response time is not good. If one process is submitted, second process needs to be waited till the first process completes. Right? So to avoid this problem, time sharing operating systems is designed where response time is improved. Another type of operating system is distributed. In all the two cases that we have seen, the computer has their own CPU and also has their own RAM. That means the computers are having their own hardwares. Now, it may be the case that we want to store data on multiple computers. So in that case, we need an operating system of type distributed. Then mobile operating systems. There is a requirement that we want to run operating system on small devices such as mobile. The requirements are different. So according to the limitations or constraints of the mobile or handheld devices, and operating systems are designed which are called as mobile operating systems. Then we have embedded operating systems which has the specific usage. According to their specific usage, operating systems are designed. They have to do the intended activity only, not the general purpose. And that's why that is called as embedded operating systems. Then we have smart card OS. We all are using smart cards which are having processor embedded in that smart card. So we need an operating system that can be embedded into that smart card. That is another type of OS, smart card OS. Then we have network operating system, the operating system which will enable us to perform the networking between multiple computer systems. And finally, we have real-time operating systems. These are nothing but different types of operating systems. Now let's talk about different types of services provided by the operating system. Operating system provides different services, and these different services are given to the user for performing different operations. User wants to perform what? Program development. OS provides variety of facilities, services such as editors, debuggers to assist the programmer in creating the programs. So one of the most important service of the operating system is provide the environment for program development. Next service is in program execution. Number of steps needs to be performed to execute a program. Instructions and data must be loaded into main memory. IO devices and files must be initialized and other resources must be prepared. The OS handles the scheduling of all these activities. So we say operating system helps in program execution, which is another service of the operating system. Then access to IO devices. Each IO device requires its own peculiar set of instructions or signals for operations. The OS provides a uniform interface that hides these details so that programmers can access such devices using simple read and write. So providing access to input output devices is another service given by the operating system. And finally, providing controlled access to files. Means for a file access, the OS must reflect a detailed understanding of not only the nature of the input output devices but also the structure of the data contained in the file on the storage medium. In this case, in the case of a system with multiple users, the OS may provide protection mechanism to control access to these files. So who can access the file and how they can access the file, that is nothing but another service given by the operating system. Then system access. See, system access is one of the most important service given by the operating system, because we may not want a particular user to access the system with full access or with full authorization. So we want to give limited access to some people, and that can be done with the help of system access mechanism of the operating system. Here, control access to the system as a whole and to specific system resources. See, sometimes we create student account or we create guest account which is not able to install the software or uninstall the software. So we are controlling access to the system. The access function must provide protection of resources and data from unauthorized users and must resolve conflicts for resource contention. And finally, error detection and response. detecting a error and providing a particular response to the user, that is another service given by the operating system. For example, if printer is not working or printer jacket is open or printer door is open, in that case OS should properly detect the error and should provide proper response to the user so that user can correct that error. That is what most important service of the operating system. And finally, accounting. In accounting, how many resources are available, how many files are available, which files are getting accessed by which process is currently being executed, that all information is available with the operating system, which helps this proper scheduling of the devices so that system will not enter in a deadlock situation. That is the one more important service of the operating system. So what we have talked today is about the computer system components, what is the definition of operating system, types of operating systems, and different functions or services of the operating system.